Notei, ó quem tá aí, o Neil Druckmann, você é louco? Esse cara aí, pra quem não sabe, é o diretor do The Last of Us, tá? Não tinha notado, não. É louco, virei o rosto, vi rápido. E agora?
Yeah, it's crazy. 9 years for Last of Us 1, 2 years for Last of Us Part 2, and we still hear from
E ele é co-presidente também da Naughty Dog.
And these characters in this journey and this world mean so much to them. And it's just been kind of amazing. Like Last of Us Part 2 early this year passed a pretty big milestone. It sold over 10 million units. And that kind of support, that kind of success, we're so grateful to our fans.
Tá, ele tá falando que depois de 9 anos ainda, né, que lançou o primeiro jogo, ele ainda recebe feedback positivo dos fãs do The Last of Us.
Thank you for asking, Jeff. So one of the things we've mentioned a while back is what started out as a multiplayer mode has evolved due to the team's ambition. They really wanted to do something beyond what they've never done before at Naughty Dog. And we felt the way to do it justice is to make
O multiplayer é uma coisa que eles não falaram, né? Nada ainda. Meio que prometeram, mas não teve nada ainda.
Okay, well, what can you tell us about this new standalone multiplayer game?
Yeah, so we have a concept art that we want to show. But what I can tell you is that this game is big.
Okay.
It's as big as any of our single-player games that we've done, and in some ways bigger. It's got a story.
Esse é o conceito do multiplayer, vai ser um standalone.
It's got a brand new cast of characters. It takes place at another place, another part of the United States.
It's like a city might be somewhat familiar, some people.
I'm sure our fans have already figured it out.
Tá. Esse daí vai ser um dos jogos vivo multiplayer The Last of Us que a Sony quer lançar. Que a Sony tinha falado que ia lançar alguns jogos até 2025, né? Multiplayer. Vivos, aqueles jogos que fica sempre, né? Atualizando. The Last of Us multiplayer vai ser um.
This has evolved, and I mean that concept art looks incredible. I can't wait to see Naughty Dog storytelling fused with.
Vai se passar no universo The Last of Us, né? Provavelmente a gente não vai jogar com os personagens clássicos.
That's not all. We also have something that I've been reading about on the internet every day. It feels like up in Calgary they're filming the Last of Us show for HBO, right?
E nesse multiplayer aí vai ter história, viu? Vai ter uma história.
To adapt The Last of Us into a TV show. They've been filming and it's pretty.
Agora a série.
When we're looking back at Naughty Dog, we can't help but feel emotional because not only is it so good and the quality is so high, it's so authentic to what we've made in the game. I couldn't be proud of, like, again, Craig and that whole crew and everybody that's up there. And their last day of filming is tomorrow.
So the entire series, last day of filming is tomorrow.
Last day of filming is tomorrow. Craig is up there right now, kind of wrapping it all up. So it's pretty close. It's closer than you might think.
And you actually got to direct one of the episodes?
Beleza.
Yes, I think that really speaks to
Ainda
the
está o
filmagem. Trust that exists between Naughty Dog and HBO.
Nossa, ele falou que amanhã acaba as filmagens da série. Ô, louco, hein? Olá, uma imagem. Nossa, que top. Uma das primeiras, assim, né, que realmente oficial.
They've thrown themselves at these roles for a whole year. Watching the nuance that they bring to these characters, their relationship on and off camera, I couldn't help but think about Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson. It felt so similar to the chemistry those two actors had when we made the game. And it really feels like this is going to be something special. And I will say this will be the most authentic video game adaptation yet.
Well, I mean, that first image that they put out, it feels like the video game. Everything that I've seen, both public and other stuff, makes it feel sort of super legitimate, you said, and that's awesome to see.
As adaptações do videogame geralmente não fica tão bom, né? Mas essa daí parece a adaptação de videogame mais autêntica. Adaptação de videogame para sistema de série ou filmes, né?
We happen to have a couple actors here that are part of the show. We should bring them out.
Okay, come on out.
Em breve anuncia a data.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Oh, hello.
Surprise.
Troy's back again. Hello,
I know.
Ashley. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm a little confused.
É o
though. I
Joe
thought maybe
e a Ellie, né?
Bella, but Troy Ashley out here from the game, right?
So when Craig and I started working on the show, almost one of our very first meetings, we said, Troy and Ashley have to be a part of it. And we're such fans of like the talent and like helping us create Joel and Ellie. We felt like it was
Quer
so
mostrar o
important
quê
that
pros
they be part of
fãs?
the show. And it has to be more than just like kind of like a wink to the camera and like a cameo.
Okay.
These are real roles that we're keeping under wraps for now. But man, I'm bummed that I couldn't be there with you guys when you filmed your stuff.
There's been so much
It's
stuff I feel like
so good.
on the internet. There's so much like talk about what's being filmed, and I think that's you guys have kept a complete secret that you. So you
Que
were
que
up
eles vão
there, you
fazer na
filmed the
série?
roles by now, obviously.
Well, keeping secrets with this franchise is kind of old hat. Like we've
Except
had
for today.
Yeah.
Except for today.
Except for the date. It was one of the hardest things for us to do is to not let people know that because we're so proud of it and the work that we did. We worked hard. The crew. I have to say, when I walked out on set, to be met with literally every person that I met on that crew is such a fan of this game, and they all knew what it was that they were working
A
on.
voz
committed
da
to working
dublagem
on this
brasileira
project
acho que faz
because they were
pro Joey faz
fans
muito mais
and their love
sentido, né?
for the game,
Muito mais.
was one of the greatest. It was like I was coming home to friends.
Yeah, the attention to detail, the crew was amazing. Bella and Pedro are,
Man,
they're so perfect, and we've been trying to sort of describe that.
Agora
feeling
só
of
tá
sort of seeing
elogiando a
them
produção
in
do game,
person.
falando que foi tudo muito bom e nada,
It's like
muito top, muito lindo.
it's like the characters
Mas
coming
eu
to
quero
life,
ver
but
alguma coisa, né?
it's so
Vamos.
much more than that. I feel like I can't fully explain it, but I am so excited to be a part of it, and just I can't wait to see it. I think it is going to be so good. I love the story. I love just being a part of
I'm
this
so
world.
excited about the series and the fact that you guys are going to be in it and undisclosed roles. I'm so fascinated how it's going to sort of bob and weave and you know, are these characters we know from the game that they're playing? New characters? Can you tell us anything?
Yes.
I can tell you.
So sneaky. All right. Well, we're so excited.
Maybe it's already on Twitter by now.
Hey. All right. Well, let's talk about what was on Twitter earlier today. Lots of talk about the idea, or really what's happening is it looks like you guys are remaking the original game, and this is like a ground-up remake. Is that right?
That's right. We wanted to give people the definitive version of the first game that wasn't encumbered by any technology. Wanted to find a way to get even closer to our original vision. We're able to do it on the PS5 and PC. And instead of talking about it, let's look at it.
All right, let's take a look at The Last of Us Part 1.
Opa! O quê? Ah,
So why'd you leave Boston?
falou que é só no PlayStation 5?
I reckon it's got something to do with that girl.
It's got everything to do with that little girl.
Tia.
You know, I've never been this close. It's the outside.
Ué,
So is that everything you hoped for?
Can't be any
dia
worse out there.
2/9? Isso aí.
Can it?
Será que não é o remake? É só uma versão para PlayStation 5?
And in this world, that's good for one thing: get you killed.
Ah, eu acho que.
I can take care of myself.
Ah, eu acho que é só uma versão para PlayStation 5.
Trouble down there.
Ah.
Shot. Count.
I got this.
Hope you know how to use that thing.
O gráfico desse jogo já é muito bom, né? Ah. E para PC.
Truly one of my favorite
E
games
para
of the past
PC
decade.
também.
Guys, what's your reaction to that?
Yeah, we hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah, you're watching it in real time.
Yeah.
It's because you did these. These performances you did a decade ago.
Yeah.
You didn't go back in. I mean, you used the original performances.
Yeah, actually, we came up with a process. where
Era
we
só
took
que
the
faltava,
original,
né?
Animation that we did for the faces and kind of like retargeted on these new rigs that have a lot more fidelity And then the
Ah,
animators went
diferença, ó.
back and
We're seeing
studied
side by sides here
Ó.
just how much it has changed. That you went and you redid the models and rebuilt everything.
everything was rebuilt from the ground up.
Ah,
Same
sim.
art director, re-art directed the whole thing from the ground up. But the great thing about these faces is that they're
Ah,
close to
olhando
the
aí tá
original
bem
filmmaking.
diferente.
All the animators went
Tá
and studied
melhor,
these
mas não
videos
tá
and got more
muito
what we
assim,
did on
né?
set than we could have achieved before. And that's just like one of the things we could talk about, like this brand new AI, like all the combat is redone. Just the
Mas
fidelity of
não,
everything,
não,
60
não
frames per second,
nomearam
all the
como
stuff
um
we're getting on the
remake, né?
PS5. Again, we wanted to give, knowing because of the show, because they're all new players for PS5 and PC,
Yeah.
we wanted them to have the definitive version of The Last of Us.
Amazing. Well, now you guys get to replay. I mean, when was the last time you guys played the game?
I actually played it
É assim,
again just
não dá pra
to
fazer um
refresh
remaster,
my
porque já
memory
tem, já
for
tem, né? Esse
working
jogo era
on
do
the
Play
show.
3, fizeram um remaster pro Play 4, agora vão fazer outro remaster pro Play 5, tinha que fazer
Never played it.
um remake, mas tá mais com cara de remaster,
Last one I
né?
played literally would have been 2 years ago since we're celebrating the anniversary of Part 2 coming out. So I mean, it looks like I'm definitely going to be up for another
Yeah, I
playthrough
can't. I
with
mean,
this.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go back because it
Oh,
was
I
such
can't wait.
you guys did such an amazing job on that original game, and
It's really, when you play it, when you see it in motion, it's really night and day from what it used to be.
I imagine that think of the Last of Us 2 combat, but kind of that back in the Last of Us 1.
Well, it's the whole, like, all the
Yeah.
new animation system, the new AI system, everything we've learned on, like, Uncharted 4, Last of Us
Yeah.
2, we apply to this, again, to give that definitive version. Just to give a quick shout out, this project is headed up by Matthew Gallant and Shauna Sky.
Okay.
And you'll hear a lot more about it and see a lot more about it over the coming weeks leading up to the release September 2nd on PS5.
Ah, tá. Eles falaram que eles refizeram todas as animações pra ficar igual às animações do 2.
Still making games. I haven't given up my day job. It's a little early to talk about it. Maybe if someone in PlayStation wants to leak it, then we can talk about it now. Otherwise, we'll save it.
Eu não sei porque eles só não falaram que é um remake, né? Acho que
Summer Game Fest.
estão com medo, não, acho que não teve muita alteração.
All right. Troy, Ashley, Neil, thank you so much for dropping by Summer Game Fest, and I am so excited that The Last of Us is returning, as you said, in September. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Awesome. All right, well, that is going to do it. Thanks to Naughty Dog and PlayStation for that very special look at The Last of Us and the entire franchise and where things are going.
Tá bom.
Very, very excited about that. All right, Summer Game Fest continues over the next few days.